Alright, does Virat Kohli make it to that Indian T20 11 at this moment, considering his form? For me, the answer is no. But if you put that poor form and his experience in a beam balance, I think his experience would outweigh the poor form, considering he's not been getting runs consistently across formats in the last 2-3 years now. Of course, he's not been getting those centuries. In fact, his 71st century, everybody has been talking about it since November 29, but hasn't been coming. But the bigger worry is his form, the way he's been getting dismissed. Of course, there have been dismissals which we've seen in the past also, very similar to how Virat has been dismissed in the past. But now what is happening is he's finding new ways to get out. But all that aside, I think the selectors, the team management would still want to see Virat Kohli in that Indian team for the T20 World Cup. You still have close to 15 odd games, 15 odd T20s before India play their first match against Pakistan in Australia in the T20 World Cup. But what is happening right now with Virat Kohli? Is he there or is he not there? Of course, now there are a few injury concerns also. Hopefully, that will in times to come, in days to come, Virat would be absolutely fine. But then what exactly is happening right now? What could be the approach of the selectors or the team management? Either, and who is pushing Virat Kohli? Who are these players who are breathing down his neck? Of course, there is Deepak Hooda, who's done incredibly well in the last few opportunities that he has got. Then there is somebody like Shreyas Iyer, who has been pretty decent, although he has a few deficiencies which have been very glaring, especially against the short ball. But the limited opportunities that Shreyas Iyer has got, he has done pretty okay. Of course, against in one of the home series that he played against West Indies, he got 50s in each and every innings that he played. Thereafter, of course, the test match in England and a few other games here and there, he has lost out on maybe the confidence of a few people, maybe a few selectors also. But then Virat Kohli's experience will count. Although I think Virat, if you just see his numbers in T20s, they're not bad. But it's about the impact with which maybe a Rohit Sharma, a Rishabh Pant, a Hardik Pandya, a Surya Kumar Yadav, even KL Rahul, all these players, the impact that they can create. Is Virat also creating that sort of an impact with his batting? Well, unfortunately, at this moment, it doesn't seem so. But his experience cannot be discounted. What he brings to the table with that kind of experience is something that not everybody can bring. Especially if you see the big match experience. He's played so many ICC tournaments and we've seen, if you just look at the 2019 World Cup, there was one particular position for which there were huge debates before also and after the World Cup also. That was number 4. So what happened? Of course, we thought that a lot of people thought that Raidu would be the preferred choice. But then later on, we saw Vijay Shankar, Rishabh Pant. Rishabh Pant 2019 was fairly young at that moment. His international career had just started. So he was also fairly young. So what we saw, the big match when it actually happened against New Zealand, when you saw that you could actually make it to the final, a lot of these inexperienced players were found wanting, and we've seen that in the past. That is exactly where you need somebody like Virat, but a lot of consideration will be given to how he approaches towards that T20 World Cup, whether he gets runs or not. He's changed his approach a few times. We've seen that in the IPL also. There were a few times when he batted a little slow, or rather he was a little too cautious, and there were a few times when he went bang bang right from the word go. But on both the occasions, it didn't give him the desired results. So it has what sort of confidence the team management is giving to Virat Kohli, that is what matters. And what sort of confidence Virat Kohli has in himself, that is what matters. What he can do is he can score runs, but that has not happened in the last 2.5 years, at least on consistent basis. One good innings, I think one good innings, one good impactful innings is what I'm not talking about a century, I'm not talking about a half century, I'm saying one good impactful innings, and hopefully that confidence will be back for Virat Kohli. And but I still have my doubts, although his, as I said, his experience would outweigh the poor form, but still form going into a T20 World Cup, into an ICC event, that form will also be a consideration. So at this point in time, Virat is on a sticky wicket. He's batting on a sticky wicket. But if you ask me, on form, Virat doesn't make it to that T20 11, but experience, I'll still give it a go.